Our family is in the business of jewelry making and selling from 1900. The founding members of our organization is Vummidi Bangaru Chetty, that's my great grandfather. We have known him as a very straightforward and smart businessman, and we still follow his footsteps today.
In the Chola dynasty, Sengols were used to symbolize the transfer of power from one king to another. When India was about to gain independence from the British, Lord Mountbatten, former Governor General of India, wanted to know what symbolized the formal transfer of power. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru consulted Sri Rajagopalachari, who suggested that they use Sengol to indicate the change. Rajaji approached the Thiruvavaduthurai Adheenam Mutt in Tanjore, and the Mutt's leader commissioned jeweller Vummidi Bangaru Chetty to make the Sengol. On the eve of independence, a delegation of the Thiruvavaduthurai Adheenam handed over the sceptre to Nehru and performed a holy ceremony.
For the past 4-5 years, after I started to do some research on the Sengol, I've been asking my uncles and my father and my other elders in the family. So they've been recalling about the fact that the people from the Adheenam had come to our shop and contacted my uncle and my grandfather, gave them the design as to how the Sengol should be done. We never went and approached anybody for this order. It was the grace of God and the goodwill that the family had at 1947 that the Adheenam had come and given us this order. There were at least 2 or 3 rounds of discussion as to what the design should be. The design is a Nandi on top, which is a symbol of Shiva, because the Adheenam was a Shivite Adheenam, and they had Lakshmi on the lower part, and below has a stalk of a wheat which shows prosperity. And during the making of the Sengol also, the Sengol actually went to the Adheenam twice for checking if the specification that they mentioned was correct. There was a couple of changes that the Adheenam had asked him to do, and they had also executed those changes, and finally was handed over. It totally took them around about 30 to 35 days to complete it. Around about 5 to 10 people were working on this. This happened in around about 4-5 years back. There was an article in Ananda Vigadan about this, and they also mentioned my grandfather's name. So that got me a little bit curious as to why somebody is mentioning my grandfather's name and how are we connected to this. We started to dig deeper. Our marketing head, Mr. Arun, started to look at how we could actually start seeing where this actually story is. If the story is true, then the Sengol must be somewhere. So our search started to begin in finding out where the Sengol could be, where it is lost. So we went to the minutes of the parliament. We saw the minutes of the parliament. There was nothing mentioned in the minutes of the parliament because this happened 15 minutes before the handing over of power, and it happened in the residence of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. We got back to the Adheenam. They said this is 100% happened, and we wrote to almost all the museums in India. After a couple of years of writing and getting back and forth and sending pictures of what this scepter or the Sengol could look like, finally we got a call from the museum in Allahabad. The museum manager said that he can't send pictures of this. So if we have any pictures of that, you can send it to him, and then he could check and see if this is accurate. So we sent these pictures to them, and then he confirmed that this is the same Sengol that was there. At that point, it was a eureka moment for us. We were so happy that we found what just came as a small article a couple of years back. We actually found the Sengol itself.
Made by the jeweller is all set to grace the halls of the new Parliament building, which will be inaugurated by Prime Minister Amarendran Modi on May 28th. Vummidi Bangaru Jewellers was started in 1900s, making it one of South India's oldest jewellers.
We are from a very small town in the border of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh today. It's in Gudiyatham. There was only 2 temples there, and my great-grandfather and my grandfather used to go to those temples on most of the occasions. We have good days in a month. There will be 7 to 8 good days. We call it Murthanal. So they used to go there, and people used to do nose piercing and ears piercing. So it was a very small business, like what they call a trunk show. They used to carry the trunk on their head and go to the temple and be there for week 2 days. and sell their jewelry, and the balance of the time they used to make the jewelry. At some point of time they decided, Chennai being a commercial hub, they had to move to Chennai. The founding members of our organization is Vummidi Bangaru Chetty, that's my great grandfather. In those times they never used to even put jeweler there, because it's only the name, the credibility is very important. So our company name itself was just Vummidi Bangaru Chetty and Sons later on. They started a small shop in Govinda Penakin Street. The front used to be the showroom, the center used to be the house, and the back used to be the workshop. So the entire family was involved. The women used to take care of the security of the place, and the men used to do the business, and one of them used to do the manufacturing, another brother used to do the sales. Then he had 3 sons, that is my father's generation. They grew the business even more, and I'm the 4th generation now, and the 5th generation has also come to the business. The 6th generation is also born, so hopefully they also will come to the business.